Hey guys, my name is Shelby Morris, and today I want to discuss a crucial part of women's history, the Seneca Falls Convention. The Seneca Falls Convention was the first ever women's rights convention to take place in the United States. It touched on social order, civil order, and women's rights. The two key factors in making the Seneca Falls Convention happen were Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Lucretia Mott. Stanton was born in 1815 in New York, and she eventually married around 1840 to Henry Stanton, who was a reformist and politician. She bore 3 children out of 7, and she just grew tired of the oppressed domestic life of being a housewife and being a perfect lady. Lucretia Mott was born in 1793 in New York as well. She was a Quaker and later married James Mott around 1811. They had 7 children together, and Lucretia was actually an anti-slavery activist. This is part of how they met. They actually met in London. Mott was attending a anti-slavery convention and got kicked out because she was a woman. They wouldn't let her in. So she stood outside and she preached on women's rights and the Anti-Slavery Act. And this is how Elizabeth Cady Stanton saw her, and they started talking and realized that they both were for women's rights. And later, around 1848, that summer, they decided that they were going to plan the Seneca Falls Convention. They gathered a couple other ladies and started making a Declaration of Sentiments. The Declaration of Sentiments was based off of the Declaration of Independence, but it basically hit topics like women being treated like property, women wanting higher education, their confidence being destroyed by men. Those were just a couple of the littler things, but huge major topics that it hit were that it stated, "He has taken from her all rights in property, even the wages she earns." So basically, she's that property, she's his. The next thing it stated was, "He has made her, if married, in the eyes of the law, civilly dead." And then the last one was that I want to talk about is the biggest topic that it hit, which was about the elective franchise. It stated, "He deprived her the first right of a citizen, the elective franchise, thereby leaving her without representation in the halls of the legislation, has oppressed her on all sides." So basically, she doesn't have a right to anything politically or around her in her community and her country. She doesn't have that say-so because she's not getting to vote. So they split the convention into 2 days. And the first day, they decided that they were going to just allow women to come. And around like 300 women showed up. And on this day, they really just kind of talked about the Declaration of Sentiments and kind of agreed on stuff. And they had a few speakers and stuff. On the second day, this is when they allowed men to come. And only like 40 men showed up. But a key factor played into the men showing up. Frederick Douglass showed up, bringing him and Stanton together to debate the elective franchise. And if it weren't for this, then who knows if we'd have the right to vote. They debated for a while. It was a very lengthy debate. Eventually, Stanton won and gained the right to the women's elective franchise. So basically, we got the right to vote there. And eventually, this led to a lot more women's suffrage around the United States, and women gained the actual constitutional right to vote in 1920.